influenced by pro-poor legislation that sought to nurture and strengthen vital yet under-supported sectors, earned him a citation as one of the country's 3 outstanding senators. Destiny next had him winning the vice presidency in spectacular fashion, garnering more votes than the president-elect himself. Within a year, as vice president, he was named Man of the Year. Justice, economy, environment, and peace for the masses ever in mind, he served as concurrent head of the Presidential Anti-Crime Commission, or PACC, and immediately dismantled the structure of patronage and corruption in the law enforcement system. He went after scalawag police he called hoodlums in uniform, and corrupt judges he denounced as hoodlums in robes. He broke the backbone of big drug syndicates and kidnapped for ransom gangs. Various entrenched sectors of society took note of and felt threatened by his aggressive vision for the poor, and early in his public service career began mounting a ruthless hate and smear campaign against him. But the masses identified with him were not to be denied. They wanted a man of their own in the highest post of the land, and they voted him there. With a landslide historic win, unparalleled in Philippine electoral history. Actively he pursued, now as president, 3 favored priorities of his: growth with equity, grassroots empowerment, and good governance. Right away, he eliminated all sovereign and government guarantees favored by administrations before and later after him. Ordered the probe of suspicious government projects before his time. Fired corrupt officials in the military and police. Crushed the MILF against ceasefire overtures by some powerful sectors. Opposed moves to hike utility rates, and took pride in his cabinet whose members were never involved in any scandal or anomaly. As he pursued his presidency, his blueprint for progress centered around the masses he loved, and became more clearly defined as his 12 prescriptions for national growth. Food security, creation of a Filipino dairy industry, removal of patents to reduce cost of medicines, emphasis on education for indigent youth, promotion of transparency in governance, dismantling patronage and corruption, controlling unmitigated price hikes, zero sovereign guarantees, ensuring peace and order for progress, obliterating criminal syndicates, adopting a mailed fist policy against rebels, and pursuing population control. While his policies and priorities were welcomed by the great majority, sectors of society identified with the elite, the entrenched, the powerful did not. Few perhaps, but strong in clout. These were the enemies he created in his uncompromising pursuit of his mandate to always choose the greater good for the greatest number. The conspiracy shifted into full gear with trumped-up impeachment charges railroaded against him. Dutifully, he allowed the legal process to take its course. During the course of the impeachment hearings that were going nowhere, the opposition at the time alleged that incriminating evidence was contained in the second envelope, which was at the center of controversy of the trial. Then, the majority of the senator judges voted to exclude the second envelope correctly because it was not part of the formal complaint.
The no votes have it.
The prosecutors walked out like sore losers, thus halting the impeachment trial. It was the signal for the conspiracy to close ranks and marshal all its resources in the military, the church, business, and media to clinch the ouster. It did so. And to avoid violence and bloodshed, he quietly moved out of Malacanang. But he never once suggested that he intended to resign.
I will not resign.
We have to proceed to EDSA to administer the oath on the Vice President as acting President.
In all humility, I accept the privilege and responsibility to act as President.
As acting President.
To act as President.
In the ensuing confusion, the conspiracy swore Gloria Arroyo into office against all tenets of the Constitution. The Constitution provides that a sitting president can be replaced only if he resigns, dies, is incapacitated, or is impeached. Not one of these four conditions existed when the leader of the masses was unceremoniously ousted. Later, in a dinner hosted by her co-conspirators in the Council for Philippine Affairs, or COPA, Arroyo paid tribute to those who helped make the power grab possible.
Maybe I should tell my version of some of the untold stories, especially with regard to the military. And now that it can be told, I think I should mention who they are. That group that I was meeting with since January was made up of General Larry Mendoza and Colonel C.P. Garcia and retired General Rion. Art Carillo, and he's right there. General Espinosa, whom everybody knows is my dear friend, and Spine is there too. General Braganza. And actually, Boyce is another friend of mine.
Legal luminaries and the international community condemned the ouster. Among others, Supreme Court Justice Cecilia Munoz Palma said, "The 1987 Constitution suffered. This happened when the ongoing impeachment trial of President Joseph Estrada was unceremoniously disrupted and discontinued, and the issues on hand were brought to the Parliament of the streets. The rule of law was set aside, and the rule of force prevailed." Writing for the International Herald Tribune, Philip Bowring said, "Far from being a victory for democracy that is being claimed by the leaders of the anti-Estrada movement such as Jaime Sin, the evolution of events has been a defeat for due process. Even the highly respected Lee Kuan Yew, interviewed by the Straits Times, weighed in with his thoughts. The change of power in the Philippines was no boost for democracy because it was done outside the Constitution. It now appears that even the Holy Father in Rome was against interference in the illegal ouster. Barely a month after, the sealed second envelope was opened before the public on national television, revealing the owner of the controversial bank account to be businessman Jaime de Chavez and not the persecuted leader.